Hi everyone, a quick note before the video begins that the following is a clip from my new podcast called Products of Music, which is formerly known as the Product Development Podcast. If you enjoyed the clip and would like to watch the full episode, I'll leave a link down below where you can go over to the Products of Music channel on YouTube and watch the whole thing. If you'd like to subscribe to that channel as well, I welcome you to do that. It'd be really appreciated, and I hope you find value in those longer form episodes as well. But without further ado, here's a snippet from the full podcast episode.
Within 4 days, I think we had taken some off-the-shelf stuff, kind of scrapped it together and built ticketed live streaming inside of Shopify. And our first concert that we had, I think like a week later, was Dashboard Confessional. And so that was an instance where right place, right time, but also right ethos in terms of how do we, like, unlike the attempts at new things, and again, we can get into some of the failures of that because we've done other things too, but kind of the root of these are things that are important right now and have longevity, I guess, to them as a product. The live streaming portion of it was, okay, these folks can't go on tour, things are shutting down. Let's give them the ability to have live streams inside of their storefront. They already can sell them. So these are just a direct to consumer streaming method. Let's allow them to bundle access to that content with the merchandise that they otherwise are not going to be able to sell on tour because it closed like right before tour season and it was
of course,
sitting on boxes. Over the next like year or two, we sold like close to 2 million tickets, generating like, I think it's like 23, 24 million in GMV for artists, or it's just like selling through t-shirts and all that kind of stuff. But the whole idea was, okay, we're just creating the ability to gate access to video content as opposed to audio content. So that fit within our idea on that side.
What came after that live streaming piece? I mean, I know you've delved into Web3 and NFTs and stuff. Was that the next part of the journey, or was there something else before then?
Yeah, so the next phase was we were doing a album release for Kings of Leon, and they had done an NFT release through with like Yellowheart, I think is who it was, and it was like right at the head of it. And there's a couple of folks on staff that are like big on the Web3 side of things. And I was like, I don't know what that is at all, but also we need to stay ahead of it. So as I started like researching more into it, I definitely can see the merit in the technology, but the way that I saw the use case in music was primarily as another gating or access system. So you can buy, like, I mean, through live streaming, you would just buy it. We use the Shopify customer account system, and you get access to the content. Well, if you wanted to be able to have like a collectible or a token that's granting you access to that, so token gating things, I could see the natural progression of that, but also being able to say like, hey, if you buy a t-shirt, you get this token, and the token unlocks, and that token can also be used for future things, or you could use it from like cross storefront kind of stuff. So there's definitely a lot of ambition in what that technology can do. I think that it didn't catch on with the fans. It didn't solve like enough of a problem for the fans that otherwise couldn't be solved with just a login and more traditional methods. And then there's obviously the cost thing, and then the connotation around it, because like at the time there's just like a lot of the shilling and the NFT stuff and all of that.
Yeah,
So
right.
technically it worked, and it set us down the path that we were on, but that was actually what that particular edition was the thesis by which Shopify wound up investing in Single, was wanting to stay ahead of the Web3 curve and things like that. But it was also part of the reason why like we grew a lot and then ultimately got really top heavy, and it really, really hurt the business in the long run. So yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where like we tried, we took a gamble on it, and then from a product perspective, it worked, and I think that it was actually like a pretty compelling product, but it just didn't end up working out in the market.